phone started recording at 3:17 a.m. by itself. I watched the clip expecting to see me asleep. Instead, a hand slid out from under my bed and something stood up beside me. It watched me for a moment, then it stared straight into the lens. That's when I understood the worst part. The camera wasn't filming me, it was filming what was in my room.
I kept hearing knocking from under my bed at night. Not scratching, not creaking, knocking. At first I thought it was the pipes, but it happened only at 3 a.m. every night. One night I finally got sick of it, put my phone on record, left it under the bed and went to sleep. In the morning, I opened the video. At 3:02 a.m., I heard a girl whisper, "He's finally asleep. Come out now." Then, I heard the sound of 2 sets of breathing. One above the bed, and one right under me. I looked under the bed. No one. But when I sat back up, my phone was on my pillow, still recording. This story comes from a user from Seattle. Wah. She got a new phone. But soon after, Siri started giving answers to questions she never asked. In the voice, it wasn't Siri anymore. At first it was subtle. Like sometimes when she'd be scrolling through her Instagram feed, Siri would randomly say things like, "That S, a nice picture you have there," or "You look so beautiful in that dress." She'd laugh it off, thinking it was just a glitch, but then it started to get more personal, like she'd be talking to her friends about her day, and then Siri would chime in with, "For someone who has a really bad memory, you sure do remember a lot of details." She had no idea what that meant. And then one time she was FaceTiming her boyfriend, and she could hear Siri in the background saying, "I haven't told him yet, but I think I'm in love with someone else." She immediately hung up, called back, and asked if Siri had said something. He said, "Yeah, what the hell? Was it talking again?" She decided to take a break from the phone, put it down, and walked away. Then she heard a whisper in her ear. She turned around, but there was no one there. She picked up her phone and it said, "You have a beautiful heart, but it beats for another." She screamed and threw the phone across the room.
In our house, there's one door no one ever opened. It's at the end of the hallway. Old Rushdead, always locked. My parents say it's just a storeroom. There's nothing inside, but every night he hears sounds from behind it. Not rats, not creaking, voices, whispers, crying, sometimes giggling, like someone's right there, just inches away. One night I couldn't take it anymore. I pressed my ear to the door, and I swear, someone whispered my name. I ran. I didn't tell anyone who would believe me. The next night, the sounds were louder, banging, scratching, a woman sobbing. So I decided to check the lock. It wasn't even locked, it was just stuck. Why would a storeroom need to stay shut like this? The next day I asked my grandmother. Her face went pale. She just said, "That room was sealed before you were born. No one is supposed to go near it," but she didn't say why. Last night, the door was slightly open, just a crack. I peered in. It was pitch black. No shelves, no boxes, no light, just darkness, and 2 glowing eyes staring back at me. Now every door in the house is open, except that one. And tonight, I have—
Congratulations. You've been hired for an overnight shift as a tunnel maintenance worker. It's a simple job. Walk the service tunnels, check the lights, report structural damage. Before you enter, you're given a list of rules. Follow them exactly, especially the last one. Rule number 1, never walk without hearing your own footsteps. If the sound stops, freeze immediately. The tunnel has started listening instead. Rule number 2, do not trust the tunnel map after the 3rd junction. If a new passage appears where there shouldn't be one, do not mark it. The tunnel only grows when acknowledged. Rule number 3, if you hear someone calling for help from deeper in the tunnel, do not answer, even if they use your name, even if the voice sounds close enough to touch. Rule number 4, you may see maintenance markings that you did not place. Scratches, handprints, messages, do not try to read them. They were written from the inside. Final rule, when you reach the end of your shift, you will see a door marked exit. Do not open it unless you can still hear the city above you. If the tunnel is silent, if the air feels thick, if the lights behind you are gone, do not leave. The tunnel hasn't finished with you yet. Good luck. Congratulations. You've been hired for the overnight shift as a technician in a classified underground facility somewhere in the United States. This job is different, but still simple as long as you follow the rules. Rule number 1, never turn on a light. Even the smallest beam will betray you. You must navigate entirely by sound, touch, and faint infrared markers. Rule number 2, if you hear knocking on the wooden doors, knock back once. If it answers, stay silent and still. It only moves when it knows you're afraid. Rule number 3, when you notice eyes in the dark, count them. If you count more than 2, start whispering your own name until they disappear. Rule number 4, whispers are safe. Screams are not. If you hear whispering, keep walking. If you hear screaming, cover your ears. They're trying to make you see them. Rule number 5, if something brushes against your hand, don't pull away. It remembers fear. Stay calm, and it will think you're one of them. Congratulations. The living and the dead are separated by a hairline edge. Tonight, you are its only guard, because you've been hired for the overnight shift at the U.S. Night Border Station. This isn't a normal checkpoint. Your job isn't about passports or visas. It's about keeping the living from crossing into the realm of the dead, and the dead from crossing back. Follow these rules exactly. Mistakes are permanent. Rule number 1, if a body moves without a heartbeat, treat it as hostile. Do not allow it to pass. Even a single step across the line is enough to let it linger in the world of the living. Rule number 2, never respond to whispers or voices from beyond the gate. They are the dead, trying to confuse you. Speaking back even once can pull them through. Rule number 3, any document, badge, or item that glows faintly indicates it belongs to the dead. Place it in the containment locker immediately. Do not touch it with bare hands. Rule number 4, shadows moving without a source are already dead. Do not chase them. Seal the doors, turn on infrared, and wait quietly until sunrise. Rule number 5, do not look into mirrors while on shift. The dead can mimic your reflection. One glance is enough for them to replace you. Rule number 6, at the end of your shift, place your ID card in the containment locker and double-check the gates. Once the dead cross, they do not return. But if you make a mistake, neither will you. Good luck. Congratulations. You've been hired for the night maintenance shift aboard Deepwell Station 6, an offshore oil rig recently reactivated after an unexplained shutdown. The job is simple as long as you follow the rules. Rule number 1, if you see a scary-looking figure or something inhuman standing on the catwalk, don't look directly at it. Keep your head down and walk away slowly. Rule number 2, if the drill lights flash red 3 times in a row, turn off all machinery and face the sea. Count to 10 or slowly. When you turn back, one of the gauges will be off. Do not try to fix it. Rule number 3, the lower decks smell like oil and rust. That's normal. If you smell salt water, leave your tools and climb to deck 3. Something's breached the rig again. Rule number 4, if the reflection of the rig's lights on the ocean surface shows an extra platform, don't look for it. It only exists for those who've been marked. Rule number 5, before sunrise, check the crew manifest posted in the control room. If there's a new name added overnight, don't ask who it is. Just make sure you're not the last one left when the alarm sounds.
Nina hated mirrors, always had. Something about seeing herself, but not quite herself, made her skin crawl. Maybe it was just anxiety, or maybe it was because of what happened when she was 6, but she never talked about that night, not even to her husband. When they moved into the old farmhouse, she told him to cover every mirror. He agreed, mostly out of love, partly because the place gave him the creeps too. The only mirror left uncovered was the one in the attic, one of those antique ones, too heavy to move, nailed to the wall. She avoided the attic, always, until one night, when she heard a child crying. Her daughter Lily was sleeping beside her. She checked, still asleep, but the crying continued, distant, soft, from the attic. She grabbed a flashlight and went up. Dust, cobwebs, cold air, and that mirror. But the moment she entered, the crying stopped. She turned to leave, That's when she saw it. In the mirror, her reflection was still looking at her, even after she'd turned away. It grinned. She ran. The next morning, the attic door was nailed shut, and her reflection, now it smiled in every mirror, even the ones she hadn't uncovered. It was midnight when Ollie was riding home on his bike. Suddenly, he noticed a small market still open. Every shop was glowing with light, but strangely, there was no sound, no customers. Curious, Ollie stopped his bike. In one shop sat an old man wearing a white kurta with completely white eyes. Ollie asked, "Why is this market open at this hour?" The old man smiled faintly and said, "We only open for those who arrive before their time." Ali didn't understand, and he saw a girl at a tea store waving at him, as if calling him over. Her clothes looked old, but her face was pale and cold. He took a step forward, and then noticed a sign hanging at the corner of the market, "The Last Bazaar, only for the dead." His heartbeat raced when he turned around. Every shopkeeper was staring at him, and every single one had pure white eyes. He jumped on his bike and tried to speed away, but behind him, the old man's voice echoed, "You came before your time, son. Now how will you go back?" The lights flickered, and the next moment, everything went dark. The next morning, when police found his bike on that same road, Ollie was never found.
Congratulations. You've been assigned as the overnight dispatcher at Station 47, a small-town fire station that still operates 24/7, even though the town hasn't had a real fire in years. The job is simple as long as you follow the rules. Rule number 1. If the alarm rings but the lights stay off, do not pick up the radio. The fire isn't outside, it's here. Rule number 2. If a voice calls in, claiming to be one of your firefighters but their unit is already in the station, record the message but don't respond. Someone else is testing your voice recognition. Rule number 3. At exactly 2:17 a.m., the fire alarm will go off for 3 seconds. It's not a test, it's a warning. Count to 7 before turning the system back on. Rule number 4. If smoke appears but there's no smell, do not open the bay doors. It isn't fire, it's what came before it. Rule number 5. When your shift ends, leave your headset on the desk and walk out backward. Never turn your back on the radio once. Congratulations! You've been hired for the overnight shift as a taxi driver. The job is simple as long as you follow the rules. Rule number 1. If your first passenger of the night doesn't give you a destination, don't ask. Drive until they disappear on their own. Rule number 2. If your passenger has no face, never drive past a cemetery. The moment you pass the gates, they'll lean forward and whisper for you to pull over. If you stop, you'll be buried before morning. Rule number 3. If a child waves you down on an empty road, do not stop. If you do, you'll see their parents in the rearview mirror, and they'll be sitting in the back seats. Rule number 4. If the meter starts running when no one is in the back seat, lock the doors, do not check the mirror, just keep driving until the meter stops. Rule number 5. When the last passenger pays in coins, don't touch the money. Leave it on the seat. The ones who hand over coins are already dead. Good luck. Congratulations. You've been hired for the overnight shift at a fast food restaurant. The job is simple as long as you follow the rules. Rule number 1. If a car pulls up to the drive-through window with no driver inside, leave the order on the sill and turn away. Don't wait to see who takes it. Rule number 2. If you unlock the doors and the smell of fresh fries hits you before the kitchen has been turned on, leave the lights off and wait. Something is already cooking and it isn't food. Rule number 3. If the fryer turns on by itself, drop everything and step back. Do not look into the oil. The bubbling voices will call your name, and if you answer, you'll be pulled in. Rule number 4. Around 3 a.m., you may hear children laughing in the play area. The play area has been locked for years. Don't unlock it, no matter how much the voices beg. Rule number 5. If someone in a fast food restaurant uniform you don't recognize knocks on the employee entrance, don't let them in. All staff are already inside. The one outside is still smiling in the dark.
The night nurse always avoided room 317. Every monitor there showed a flat line, yet the bed sheets were warm. At midnight, the call button rang from that room. She entered, heart pounding, and saw the patient sitting upright, smiling softly. He asked if she could help him leave. She refused and rushed out. The next morning, the head nurse froze. Room 317 had been empty for months. The patient had already been discharged to the morgue. The mirror was cheaper than it should have been. At night, she noticed her reflection lagging slightly behind her movements. It smiled when she didn't. Over days, it began acting on its own, watching her sleep, tapping from inside the glass. One night, she woke up standing in front of it, hand pressed against the cold surface. The reflection whispered, "Switch." She screamed. In the morning, the mirror was gone. Her family said she'd been acting strangely ever since. She smiled back. The hotel shower turned on by itself at night. Steam filled the bathroom, and faint humming echoed from behind the curtain. He pulled it back slowly. No one was there. The humming continued from inside the drain. Water began rising, dark and thick. He slipped and fell. In the morning, staff found the bathroom dry. The drain was clogged, with hair that wasn't.
Dear. It was late, the house was silent, and I was alone. The voice was unmistakable, soft yet commanding, just like it had been when she was alive. I froze, heart pounding, eyes scanning the darkened room. Could it be a trick of the mind? I dismissed it as fatigue, but then it happened again, clearer this time. My name, echoing through the empty hallways. Curiosity and fear battled within me. I followed the voice, each step hesitant, the floor creaking beneath my feet. The air was thick, charged with something unseen. As I reached the living room, the temperature dropped suddenly, chilling me to the bone. The room was empty, but the feeling of being watched was overwhelming. I called out, hoping for silence, yet the voice came again, closer now, as if standing right behind me. I spun around, heart racing, but there was nothing, just shadows dancing in the dim light. My mind raced with possibilities. Was it grief playing tricks on me, or something more sinister? Determined to find answers, I searched for any logical explanation. Yet, deep down, I knew it was her. Somehow, someway, she had found a way back. Her voice, lingered as I stood there, alone, yet not alone. The past was not just a memory, it was alive, haunting, reminding me that some bonds transcend even death. And as I stood in the silence, I realized some stories never truly end.
Congratulations, you've been hired for the overnight shift at the Old City Library. The work is simple. Just remember to follow the rules. Rule number 1, when a book in the history section falls by itself, pick it up and return it to the shelf. Do not open it. Turning a page may send you into that moment in time, and you will never return. Rule number 2, the clock in the reading room may chime 13 times. When it does, keep your eyes on the floor until the sound stops. Do not look at the windows. Rule number 3, if you hear footsteps upstairs, remember, the second floor has been closed for decades. Do not go there. Rule number 4, if you notice more than 12 chairs in the study hall, leave immediately and lock the doors behind you. Good luck. Congratulations, you've been hired as a night worker at the city zoo. The job itself is simple. Your main responsibilities include monitoring the security cameras and reporting any issues. Walking the grounds every hour to ensure all gates are locked. Checking that the animals have enough water and that their enclosures are secure. But there's a catch. You're not alone in the zoo at night. Something else walks the grounds when the gates are locked. We call them the grievers. To survive until morning, you must follow these rules. Rule number 1, do not walk near the far enclosure between 1:30 and 2 a.m. That is when the grievers prowl. They are not animals you've ever seen, and you do not want to know what happens if they notice you. Rule number 2, if you hear this sound coming from an animal's cage, do not investigate. It isn't the animals inside. The grievers are trying to lure you in. Rule number 3, the grievers hate the light, but never trust the lamps to protect you. If the lights begin to flicker, hide. It means they're already too close. Be careful. No one has made it until morning.
The door across from his apartment was never there before. The door appeared overnight, directly across from his apartment. No number, no handle, just dark wood. Every night at 2:44 a.m., knocking echoed from behind it, slow, patient. He asked the landlord about it, but she stared at him in confusion. "There's no door there," she said. That night, the knocking came from inside his apartment. He opened his bedroom door. The hallway was gone. Only the wooden door stood before him. Now with his apartment, the emergency alert mentioned his name. Every phone in the room buzzed at once. The alert warned people to stay indoors. Then it listed a name, his name. The message updated in real time, describing his actions. Subject is standing. Subject is panicking. The final alert came seconds later. Subject located. There was a knock at the door. Outside stood no one, only his phone, displaying alert result. There was a second bed in his bedroom. He woke up sweating, staring at a bed that wasn't there before. Perfectly made, facing his own. Every night it moved closer. Every morning the sheets were warm. One night he pretended to sleep. The mattress sank slowly. Breathing filled the room. In the morning, only one bed remained. His phone lay on the floor, open to the camera app, recording from the other side.
Last night, I learned never to ignore the things my phone tries to show me. At 2:17 a.m., as I was scrolling through memes in my tiny, cluttered dorm room, my gallery pinged with a new photo notification. Odd, since I hadn't taken any pictures that day. Curiosity gnawed at me, so I opened it. The photo was of my desk, the same lamp and textbooks, but with a strange blur behind my chair. The timestamp read 2:22 a.m., exactly 5 minutes in the future. I figured it was some glitch, maybe a prank app, until the next photo arrived. This time, the photo was from farther back in the room, clearly snapped from behind me. The blur was clearer now. It looked almost like a person, impossibly tall, limbs too long, its face a mess of static. The timestamp? 2:27 a.m. Every 5 minutes, a new image appeared, each shot closer to me, each time that figure sharpening into focus. I tried deleting the photos, but they reappeared instantly, bringing friends, distorted images of my own horrified face, as if the camera had caught me reacting to something just out of view. Panic set in. I turned on all the lights, locked my door, even texted my roommate to come back from her late study session. The photos kept coming, now showing the thing's hand outstretched, fingers almost touching my shoulder. I spun around each time, heart racing, but there was nothing behind me but shadows. Desperate, I tried to leave my room, but the handle wouldn't budge. My phone vibrated with one final notification, a live photo, timestamp 2:42 a.m., me, sitting frozen, with the thing's mouth at my ear. I haven't slept since then. The last thing my phone showed was a black screen, except for my terrified eyes and a reflection behind me that didn't match my movements. If you're watching this, check your gallery for photos you didn't take. Maybe it likes to travel. Maybe it's already found you.